Spoilers ahead, fucknuts.
Monarch was there in San Francisco. When the whole city was coming down, these guys were taking pictures, like they'd been waiting for it.
You think that your father was working for them?
This stuff was in a safe.
Who are they? What's Monarch?
There's a new world coming.
This is the world we live in. Monsters are an inescapable reality.
And it's just around.
Those files belong to us, and they are more important than you could possibly imagine.
There's a new world coming.
This is gonna give me nightmares. Now, you can choke down that Monarch lie about your father disappearing. Or we can find out what really happened before it's too late.
This show sucks.
Oh my God, go! This world, it's not ours. Believe me.
It is so much more vast than we could possibly imagine.
These monsters and Monarch have taken everything from me. No more.
The world is on fire. If we want to save millions of lives, we can use some help.
There's a new world coming.
Good evening, Pose.
Hello.
It's good to have you back, Silas.
It's a pleasure, Leon.
How are you doing tonight, my friends? We just watched Snyder cut of Godzilla fucking Monarch.
Fucking Snyder. God, it felt like it.
We were 7 episodes behind, right?
Something like that. What I think
Yeah, I
we
think we
left
watched
off
7.
on episode 4.
I think we watched 7 the night,
Yeah.
which is fucking insane. I
Yeah,
don't
we
even know
binged
how
that
we
shit
just
after.
did that. I feel like the fucking Joker. I feel like I was just going insane by the end of that.
Before we get into that shit show, let's do a little synopsis real quick for everyone.
Yes. So we actually had a hard time with this one when it came to trying to come up with synopsis, and we won't try to get into that too much now. But guys will, I think, find out why we thought that way later. But basically, what I came up with is we follow Kurt Russell's character, whose name is Lee Shaw. He's like a military officer.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we couldn't even remember like what
Branch
branch
of the
he was
military
in
was in.
because like it didn't seem like
It's
they
either
mentioned
Marines
it
or
much.
Army, I think. It's
yeah,
one of
I
those
think it was
two.
Army, but you follow him in 2 different time periods in like the late 1950s, early 60s, and then in 2015, right?
Into 2015.
Yeah, which is after the events of the 2014 Godzilla movie that started this whole Monsterverse that this takes a part in, which also includes the new Godzilla vs. Kong that came out recently, and Kong Skull Island, and
Well, that's later on, but yeah.
no, but it just includes the Monsterverse includes this in those
includes
movies.
the new King Kongs,
The one
new
that's about to
Godzillas,
come
and
out,
everything in
Godzilla
between.
X Kong, New Empire, whatever it's called.
Mm.
But we follow him in those 2 different time periods, and his son Wyatt Russell plays him. Kurt Russell's actual son in real life plays him in the 50s and 60s, and then Kurt Russell plays an older version of himself in the present day scenes.
Yeah.
And honestly,
very good idea. That was a very cool idea.
Yeah,
personally, of
I
them,
think
too.
Kurt Russell is probably like one of the best parts about this show.
we did kept saying he was. We only gave a shit really.
Well,
what
I think
happened-
that's one of
what
the
happened to Kurt
things
Russell
I
when
can
he-
kind of appreciate a little bit about it after watching it is there was kind of that point there where we didn't know like if he was good or bad, and I kind of liked that like ultimately he ended up being good here because like I think they painted it in a sort of way where you weren't exactly sure if what he was doing was possibly going to be villainous or something, and then you end up realizing like in the end like he's doing all of this for like a reason like that is very emotional and makes sense for like his character and his past and stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other characters here I thought were not very good.
Oh, we were going on rants about some of these characters. Holy hell!
This was hell sitting through this, honestly.
This
was worse than Expendables 4. Like, I think so far we've been pretty tame, but I think we got to let the leash off a little bit, honestly, because fuck this show. I need to say that right now.
Yeah, and this is...
I'm trying to be formal about it and everything, but this was a fucking heaping pile of dog shit.
As a guy who loves his Godzilla and is fucking big fan of all of them, it was hard to sit through all this.
Oh my god.
Personally, well, oh god, it's like
I think this
the
Monsterverse
characters were just so annoying.
The Monsterverse has just gotten worse as it's gone along, basically.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like you said, at least like the King Kong, King of Monsters or whatever, or Godzilla King of the Monsters, that had good action scenes. But that movie was fucking terrible. Besides that, wasted Tywin Lannister and shit.
They did waste Tywin Lannister's
wasted
actor
11,
so much.
Wasted 11, and then they brought her back for the Godzilla versus Kong, and like I don't even remember what they did with her in that. It was just so stupid.
It was baked. It was absolutely a bit like what the fuck they did.
But the other characters you follow here are actually like part of Kurt Russell's character Lee's story, because in the 1950s and 60s story, you see him working with Bill Randa, who's actually a character we've seen in some of these things before, like Kong Skull Island, played by John Goodman.
Yeah.
Who we didn't even know until like the last couple episodes, basically.
Yeah, we kind of just pieced them together.
And the show didn't tell us. We saw it from IMDb trying to prep for this episode.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
The show did such a shitty job of like explaining that to you.
God.
But you follow him, who's played by Anders Holm, and Dr. Kiko Miura, who's played by Mari Yamamoto, and it's the three of them kind of forming Monarch, basically.
Yeah, and we'll say these were like probably the better parts of the series, were just those three. Even though I still didn't have they weren't the best.
They weren't the best, but there was like stronger elements in those
Yeah,
parts, and
they
with
were
the acting and the liking the characters a little bit more, and
even though they're trying to like push some weird shit in there.
the
too,
love
at times.
triangle,
the
fucking
weird love
bullshit
triangle. Yeah,
thing. Yeah, I know.
the whole family has it's a family of fuck ups.
That was one of the weirdest parts about this show to me is like they like why was it that there was like three like different characters in here that like just cheated on like
it's a family
like,
cheating fucking fiesta with this shit.
They just like were casual about it, and then like actually like we said tried to kind of make it a good thing. Or like pass it off as like a good
they tried
thing.
to normalize it. Yeah, they were like, oh, they just cheated, but whatever. Fuck
Dad's
him.
sorry about it now, but you have a little brother. It's okay. Like,
was he even sorry? I don't even really remember him being that sorry. He was like,
he seemed like he was just more of like, yeah.
I'm just gonna go back to my work. This is awkward. I don't want to live here no more.
I think both of us can agree we didn't really like any of the characters here besides
Kurt Russell. And
there's I kind of liked, but like wasn't like a great character. I wouldn't say.
Not really.
I mean, like with the other chick, Kiko.
What was the other guy from Monarch that we thought was at least
the nerd.
Yeah, the nerdy guy.
Tim.
Yeah, who he felt like someone who should be in Monarch. I should say he felt like it should have followed him.
Well, it kind of felt like that like X-Files sort of like thing, or like a character like that would be in something like that.
Yeah, he's like the only one in Monarch who gives a shit what they're supposed to do of keeping track of monsters.
Like he's a little
like
nerdy, but he's capable. And that was the weird thing about this show too. For one, the pacing is fucking terrible in the show because it's 10 episodes. It's basically a big nothing burger because they have like no monster scenes in here. If you're coming in looking for that stuff, I saw some reviewers and people saying that like they thought they incorporated that pretty well in here.
No, they did not.
And they did not at all. Like
No.
I would say like every other episode they have a monster thing, and it's basically you probably saw most of that in the trailer already.
Yeah, it's what? Hold on, let me see. They have the weird dragon thing that was in the Philippines in the early ones. They had the mole creature thing that
sucked fire up.
Yep. Let's see. They had that.
Some of those designs just weren't like very like cool to me or anything. Really,
Yeah, no,
or I don't know. Like they're just like kind of so generic or like.
Yeah, you had two dragon-looking things, like the one in the Philippines, and then the other one that was at the end, where you saw like got the one actual fight between two monsters, which was Godzilla and that other dragon thing that got his the fucking Godzilla just fucking destroyed his asshole.
That was like the one. That was like the one great scene in this, and we had to wait until the very end to fucking get it.
It was at the hold on.
We're finally gonna have Godzilla come in and actually do an action scene.
Yep.
Well, it's the finale, guys. Come on, you knew this was coming.
I like how
he basically just comes out of nowhere too.
Dude, it was at the very end.
It was like an Avengers Endgame thing. He just came out of the portal thing. It was like, "Yo, what up, bitch?"
It was just funny too because I think at this point we were already so fucking fed up.
We're just like, whatever.
And then at the we just kept making fun of it even at the end.
We were just laughing at that point.
We're like, finally, it was
so stupid
scene.
and forced in there. But honestly, the rest of what was happening was just so kind of meh.
Don't forget King Kong at the last 2 seconds at the end. Fucking just hinting like, oh, King Kong will be in next season, but he just shows up like.
I feel like this could be a 3-hour episode, honestly.
Oh my god,
there's so much we could rant about here.
All right, let's start with the big one that we were having since episode. Yes, the flashbacks, the fucking going back and forth in time between characters.
I know that was the biggest thing.
Oh, that too.
The second biggest thing would literally be the time travel.
Yeah, but that we'll get into that. No, we'll get into that part.
But first, the editing here was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. People were praising this stuff too, which when we looked it up, we were like, how?
It has like a that's another thing I forgot to do, but let's just perfectly segue into that now.
Let's
the critic consensus. Basically, I decided everyone usually checks one thing like Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic, IMDb, something like that. So I tried to average as many of those as I could together, and basically the average score for this comes out to around like a 7.3. And that's like with user scores and critic scores.
That's
like
too high.
Together.
That's 100% too high.
We both thought that was way too high.
Oh my god.
And yeah, it's just the show has a lot of just nothing, and the way it's edited, it thinks it's Pulp Fiction or something, where they're like, we're gonna jump from this time period, like everyone knew of the concept of the show that part of it is in the 50s and part of it is in the future, and like we would have been okay with that. But they jump from like one episode to like episode 2 where you're going back in time again, and then like the pacing is just all over the place that you just get so confused with how it's edited.
It just gets annoying too. They will go back in time. Let's say like it'll be the 2015 plot for a little while.
Even if you don't get confused, you definitely get annoyed, I think.
And then they switch to
I got confused,
they'll say they'll go back into the 1950s or the 60s, whenever. But then they'll only stay on that for 2 minutes, switch back to the present for like 3 or 4 minutes, then switched back to the past again for another 2 minutes, and then it's like what that what they're switching back to will basically be a continuation of that other 2 minutes earlier. You're like, why didn't they just keep it together? Why didn't they just keep it and then extend that flashback in the same, just together? Keep it.
Really ridiculous. I mean, that was already ridiculous, like you said, but then it got really ridiculous in the end when they were literally re-showing scenes they'd already shown from another character's perspective, and they add a second onto it, literally we didn't need to see, just to pad on to these episode lengths that are already 40 plus minutes.
We got to really solidify it. Is basically they're like, we're being so deep. We got to add this character. Look at oh my god, it just aggravated me.
I think each episode here they could have cut off 10 minutes at least.
Honestly, they should have like we were talking a little bit about this. They should have focused maybe on one episode would have been majority focused on the past.
Yep.
Then another episode they could go back to the present, continue a bit of that past again, keep it longer lengths of together rather than being a ADHD mess.
Or even if they wanted to, I could have honestly, the time travel stuff I thought was really stupid, but maybe they could have even done that in a better way here, kind of like the show Westworld or something, how their first season. Remember how they had the character that was the Man in Black, and you saw him when he was young.
Yeah,
and then
you're talking about
those scenes were happening at the same time.
The time skip things, yeah.
Ones with the Man in Black. That was so clever, I thought.
Yeah, no, you can do it correctly.
No, exactly.
I don't think they did it correctly to me. It felt like someone who was going on a fucking ADHD rant, but couldn't focus whatsoever. Why he was like, let's switch this. Now let's switch back right away. Right,
it's either that
go,
or it
chop,
felt
chop.
like to us, we were saying, they were writing it as they went along, and they were just well, what if we had it so she actually had a kid or something now, or she's cheating too, or something.
They didn't even really talk about her grief about apparently losing her kids.
They never showed that kid. They never showed that kid that one of the main characters, Kate, supposedly lost, that they introduced towards the end of the series.
She doesn't even think about it. All her flashbacks aren't about her kid either. It's to the wife.
It comes across as
it's her wife that she cheated on. This is
very soap opera-ish too. That's one of the other top 3 things I would say is horrible about this with time travel and the editing. The characters here, and that goes into the characters being terrible too. There's a lot of soap opera just shit here.
I think each generation kept getting even worse with that cheating. They had the grandma, or Kiko, is it?
Kiko, yeah.
Yeah, Kiko, who wasn't fully cheating, but it was still a little weird where she's
with the idea of it, basically.
Yeah, and she even kisses
they kissed, yeah, they did kiss.
She kissed
she did cheat.
What's his name? Kurt Russell's kid's name? Or in the thing? Or it's Shaw, but young Shaw, I should say. Young Shaw.
Oh, Wyatt Russell?
Yeah, Wyatt Russell. Yeah. She kissed him when she was like, sorry. You know what? She almost went into the elevator to go fuck in their room, I'm pretty sure. Until the message boy came in saying, just coming message from Bill for Mr. Shaw. You're like, oh.
The only thing I'm unsure about with that character is I think that might have been one of the only ones where maybe she wasn't dating
Bill at the time or something.
Bill ever or something. Maybe
sure.
They just we don't know, and they leave so much of that where you think that's the case, but then you just don't know.
I think it was hinted they were supposed to be. She even says so, or she's like, I'm with Billy, I'm sorry, type of thing.
But they do a lot of weird stuff like that in this too, because then they do that with Kate and her half brother's ex-girlfriend too, where we thought are they trying to set them up as a couple? Because Kate's lesbian.
Yeah. What? Hold on. We skipped the other generation. We skipped their dad, who was also cheating asshole, who had 2 families, one in America and one in Japan, and he was just bouncing between them.
We were so confused, folks.
It
took us a while to figure this out. Maybe we're just stupid. Please tell us if we are.
Are they trying to hint at that cheating is genetic? It's what it felt like they were trying to say. Oh yeah, cheating is just genetic for these people because it keeps getting passed down. Keeps getting worse over the years. And then Kate fucking just ends up cheating on her fucking wife girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's not even. I don't even know if they were married. I think they might have just been girlfriends with each other, and she's still just cheating on her. You just get a one glimpse of her cheating while her other girlfriend's trying to call her.
And it's like we said, like maybe like the kid she referenced, like maybe like that was her girlfriend's kid or something, like
Maybe.
not her. But we don't know. They don't go into these sort of things. Like,
What?
the things they choose to acknowledge or like indulge in that are just really stupid and like they don't even need to have in the show half the time. And then the things they choose not to explain is just ridiculous.
You know what would be stupid? I just realized. What if the kids that she was referencing aren't even her kids, but were the school kids that probably died in that school bus during the Jeep?
Maybe.
If that was the case, that's even stupider. That's
Yeah.
even a fucking... She's like, I swear to God.
Planet Stupider right there.
I swear to God that was what they meant. And that would have even also been... Why?
But
I thought they were trying to hint that she had a kid somehow. Granted, it makes sense why we only see the school kids and not the real kid, or like not the real kid to my knowledge. I don't know. It's really she's a terrible person anyway. I don't give a shit. I'm not feeling bad for this chick. This bitch literally cheats all over. Oh my God.
Wait. Oh my God, I just remembered this too. There's so many things that this series pissed me off with.
What?
This was another one of the things that pissed me off the most.
That she never actually suffered the consequences of her actions.
Nope. So this entire series with the character of Kate and her half brother, it's a whose name is Kentaro. They're trying to look for their dad that like they've just discovered like they're half siblings because their dad cheated.
That was an awkward moment.
That's Hiroshi, right? Their dad.
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, Hiroshi Randa.
Yeah.
So it's like about them trying. I just had a brain fart because this show is just so stupid. Where was I at?
You were talking about the half siblings meeting, yada yada. That.
Oh, I fucking hate this show.
That's.
I just got lost in the hatred.
Just lost in the fuck.
It's so stupid.
All right, so we were talking about Kate also being a cheater.
Yeah.
And then talking about were you going to talk about the relationship between the
so it's about them. Sorry, thank you. It's basically about them trying to look for their father, who's a scientist and like is hunting Godzilla and like these monsters and stuff, like appearances.
Totally
and the entire
clear.
series follows them as they're trying to search for him, and then they never find him. They never find him or catch up to him, and then at the very end, he just walks back through the door.
They caught up to him in Algeria that one time, but he was just waving him off, like, "Get out of here!"
I don't count that.
I don't count that
because you guys sucked so bad that you got that close and then still fucked up.
You're not wrong, but yeah, anyway. Continue. Like when he comes back,
that pissed me off so much.
He comes back after all.
This is at the end of episode 9, folks. Like. 9 out of 10 episodes through this, in the closing moments of the penultimate episode, Dad just walks back through the door, and it's like, are you fucking serious? So you're telling me they could have just not searched for Dad at all because they never caught up to him anyway, and he just would have walked back through the door at the end?
I'm actually... Did they think he was dead this whole time? Like, until they found out this whole secret conspiracy shit he was in? Did they think he was dead before then? Or did they just... find out he had like a second family and that was the meeting and they just thought he just walked out on him or some shit?
I don't know. One of those things where they chose not to acknowledge it, you know?
I don't remember them acknowledging like exactly this. I thought they were hinting that they thought their dad was dead and then find out.
They did at first.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And now he comes walking fucking back like he's alive again. Like nothing fucking happened.
Yeah, like what put them under the impression
Why didn't he at least say he was on a business trip?
What put them under the impression that he even got killed?
I don't know. He just disappeared, I
Yeah.
guess. He didn't tell anyone that he was going like on a fucking monster hunting mission. This guy doesn't make sense. It fucking bugs me.
I don't even know what the dad was doing either. Like, what was he doing the whole time?
I'm not even sure. He was like just holding that thing that apparently attracts monsters.
But what was he doing?
But it was always Godzilla. I don't know.
Was he going to the points that like?
I think he was tracking it's supposedly he's tracking where the monster portal things were, maybe?
That were opening up to the...
Yeah, but I don't know why he would need the thing if he's trying to lure monsters out or
I'm just gonna
I don't
call
know
it.
what
I'm just gonna
he's
call
trying
it
to do.
Middle Earth now, because fucking
The Inner Earth.
or Inner Earth or something.
Yeah, Inner Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth. That's what they call it. Yeah. Dumb.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, the Hollow Earth pisses me off so much too. Like we talked about this. Like that's a more minor thing because we did get even some of the cooler scenes in there.
it's
but
just so lame looking.
but it's just
so. It looks like
so
a normal
lame.
shitty forest that with some aurora borealis things and thing, and some.
Well,
weird
they're so
lightning events
inconsistent
for
with
some
it.
reason.
At points it looks like a normal forest, then at points they go full on like MCU with it, and it looks like I don't know, like the ground is like has like electricity going through the roots and shit, and like basically like shoots lightning up into the sky that can kill you, and it's like. Oh, this just happens in certain little areas down here. Like
I was kind of
it's
chuckling
like,
when
what?
it
You figured
showed
that would
a.
happen everywhere. Like what the fuck?
I was kind of getting a chuckle. I don't know if it was bad, but Shaw's crew. He just shows a picture of that his crew, like one of his crewmates when he was the thing, just getting fucking lightning right through him, like through through her thing. She was like,
Oh, that's
like,
slow mo. That's slow mo. Zack Snyder moment. Oh, that was hilarious.
10 out of 10 moment.
I also love when he went crazy when he came back. He had like a Captain America moment, but like
he didn't even.
Which is funny because that actor Wyatt Russell, he played the evil Captain America basically in that Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Did you see that? He played what's his face, John Walker in that, the guy that like ended up being the new Cap.
Yeah, that's right.
The one that ended up like beating that guy to death with a shield. I just feel like that when he did that and that when he went crazy in that scene, Wyatt Russell or Lee Shaw, I was just like, oh, this is reminding me of.
But the
fucking
thing
him
is,
that.
he didn't even go crazy. He just told him what happened. He was like, oh, I was in the Inner Earth.
No, exactly. Like he didn't go crazy, but like you know what I mean.
I don't know why they thought he went crazy. They kept putting him on meds. Like
he was going crazy because they thought he was crazy. Basically,
they were like, "There's no way you time skip 20 years from just being under the earth."
You know what it was, bro? It was a Sarah Connor moment in Terminator 2, where she's right, but then like they're just treating her like she's insane.
Yeah, but the Sarah Connor at least makes sense because no one's like fucking. They're like, "No way, a fucking time traveling robot fucking did this." Fuck you, bitch. No, this one is even stupid because they know these things exist. They saw him, like they actually have records of him being shoved down under the earth because he was supposed to be like the first man to go on, the first people to go under the earth, supposedly. And then like they know everything fucked up. It's not like it's a fucking hidden secret in the thing.
No,
and then
literally.
he comes back, then he shows up 20 years. Like the guy he meets is literally like the kid who knows him, the kid Rando's kid, the dad's who when he was younger.
Yo,
like literally knows it's him. He's like, "Wow, you look pretty. You look like you didn't age a day." You're like, "Yeah, because I technically really didn't."
Yeah, they keep doing that at first, and then you're kind of wondering. You're like,
yeah, but he still doesn't. He still chooses to put him on fucking psycho meds. So
you know what the stupid part about that is too? Like, I feel like everyone when they first did that, you're like, "Oh, please don't do some dumb time travel shit or something."
Time travel. Oh my god.
And that didn't make any sense either. So when Kurt Russell or when Wyatt Russell gets sent down there, gets permission to go down there to try and why did they get permission to go down there? Was it to try and save the Kiko?
Yeah. Or no, it was. Oh, you mean originally when they were first doing it?
Yeah, like the 4 people when they went down there.
Oh no, that was I think essentially the equivalent of like the moon landing type thing for them.
That's what I thought, but yeah.
Yeah, they were just like, we're going to be this is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
You know what's stupid about that? It's almost like he forgot that like she got sucked down there during that like time too.
Well, I'm not even sure. Like she did get swarmed by bugs. For all we know, she got eaten alive. So I would have thought she was dead too. Yeah, I don't even know how stupid. Wait, how did she survive?
I don't know.
Actually, I'm rethinking this right now.
It's another thing.
Because remember, doesn't going through the portal thing fuck you up? Like, it would fucking kill you.
It seems like it, like you're.
And she had no protection unless she landed on all the bugs or something.
Dude, that was what I was saying to you. Like, that's the stupid logic of this too. It seems like whenever they look down like the entrance to like those portals, and it's this gigantic pit. Yeah, it seems like whenever any of them fall down it and then they lands in the other side, like they're just like, and like they're fine, and then they just like get up. It's like, what?
Dude, remember Godzilla versus King Kong? They had to make an entire new
Thing
device
for it. Yeah,
to
I
get
know.
into the fucking
Stupid.
Hollow Earth because of how the gravity works there and all that bullshit.
They were so lazy with it here. It's fucking ridiculous.
But you can apparently just go right in there by yourself and like survive somehow.
So yeah, not a huge fan of this. Not a huge fan of these characters.
Also,
they're not likable. The actors, I think, do a decent job here. Like we said, especially Kurt and Wyatt Russell, Anders Holm, and Marie Yamamoto. They did a good job too.
Don't forget the nerd.
The nerd who's Joe Tippett, Tim.
Timmy.
I thought they did a good job, but as for the main trio of young characters, Kate, May, and Kentaro, who are Kate's Anna Sawi, May is Kiersey Clemens, and Kentaro's Ren Watabe.
I'm gonna go on those three. The three young. They're
like unbearable.
I'm not even gonna say they're kids. They're young adults. They're like in their 20s, but they act like fucking teenagers.
We couldn't tell. We're like, are they supposed to be 20s or 30s?
I'm pretty sure they're in their 20s. At least Kate is.
They were so immature for that. They were acting like teenagers in this.
And then maybe the brother. Or is the brother supposed to be the older brother for some reason? I'm not even sure. They act like kids, but they're fucking up. I think they're supposed to be young adults.
If you feel immature sometimes, just watch this, and this will make you feel better. You'll be like, wow, at least I'm not a piece of shit.
Yeah, they act like spoiled, rotten kids. All three of them in their own way, like annoying way. They act like the stereotypical millennial, and that was no one likes that. I'm gonna tell you, no one likes a nice.
And then Kate is
spoiled,
just hates her dad and criticizes her dad, and then just did the exact same thing her dad did. Yeah, I know, right? Cheated, you know.
At least the dad suffered for his consequences. She didn't get shit for being a cheating little bitch. Except I guess your wife or your girlfriend dying.
Yeah, Kentaro here is just one of the bitchiest characters I think we've gotten of
whiny little bitch
in the last year, like a show or movie. Like, he just every episode was just complaining.
Yeah, dude's like he remember he was complaining, blaming his dad. Like, you said I could do anything, Mom. Like you
but
said
he skipped his own art gallery thing.
Yeah, he didn't even put effort. I mean, like you say, like he put effort into his art, sure, but he didn't make any effort to try and sell it or anything else because he just instead
wanted
skipped
to get
it.
Laid
just
that
get
night.
laid by this chick he just met. Took her out for a bar once and they had
who's
sex.
The character of May, who's also just
Cora,
is terrible.
Her name's Cora.
We end up finding out at some point her real name's Cora, and then you think that's gonna be a whole plot of like, okay, like they're gonna have to learn like she lied about who she said she was, and
they still call her.
They're gonna
May.
have to call her Cora now, and then eventually they go, don't even worry.
Yeah, you can still keep calling me May.
What?
I understood Kurt Russell's character saying May because he wasn't there for the big reveal.
Exactly.
Everyone else did, but they were like, we'll just call her May.
And they still did. And at the end of the show, they're still calling her May. It's like I told you. I'm like, that's just gonna be like her new name now. She's like, before I was.
Your name is May.
Before I was Cora, and I was such a piece of shit. Now I'm May, because that's what my friends and my new family call me. Like, oh shut up.
Also, we can talk about Cora's stupid way of fucking getting fired or fucking over the company that she was working for and being a whiny bitch about it.
Oh, or she just she was like making a code for them.
She makes code for this company.
Probably wouldn't have been able to even make this code if she didn't work for this company, and then is pissed that like they're saying like it's theirs. Like proprietary.
She got a little pissy about that, and then she fucking goes in and finds out they're doing animal research in a facility. Let's clarify this. This is a facility that's trying to do research for technology that would help fix paraplegics, cripple people, like people
try to make it out
severe,
like
horrible
injuries.
Trying
to make it out like they're like almost villains, like the characters do. But then everything they show you are almost like, are they even villains? Like,
I want to know, if this bitch knows, probably the makeup she is also with animal research, and she gets all pissed off
Well,
when she finds out it's animal research.
That goes into how they pad
tests
this
it.
out for so long that like we talked about how the characters are just so idiotically written here that like they almost make them like not trust each other or just like think they're the villains.
I'm like,
everyone in the end almost ends up realizing, oh, we should all just team up like to blah blah blah. It's like, are you serious?
dude, I mean, I just get annoyed at Korra being that she's like, I had to protect the animal. I'm like, I get not liking animal research, but sometimes in these you kind of need it for something like this. What do you want them to do? Human trials and accidentally kill people, like hundreds of people, rather than a monkey or something?
You're dealing with animals too. You're dealing with like King Kong and Godzilla and shit. Like, you think it would just make more sense in that situation, I don't know
what the plot. I mean, like she gets all mad that they're doing animal research for fucking biotech technology, and she erases everything and fucks up over the research. Oh, so fuck you, people who are paraplegic, according to her. All the research that will be trying to improve that shit for you is erased. Fuck you, because
like as far as we know, they weren't doing anything sinister, because it's not like you see like, ooh, they were actually being funded illegally, like through all this crime or something.
It's just
none of that.
It's just animal research.
Yeah,
or like they're using animal trials for their things, and that was it. And that's the only thing that was like she got bugged, because they were doing animal trials fucking for this hyper technology that is to help people.
Yeah, I really hated these characters, and that's
her priorities really suck.
Because I think a lot of the characters have been weak in this like Monsterverse so far. There hasn't really been like a huge standout one.
I think she was also just really bitter about the code thing, like we were talking about, that they took her code, even though that was her job, that in the contract of you make code for us, we pay you a lot of money. According to even her herself was like, you pay me a lot of money. What do you mean this is above my pay grade? I'm like,
it's like, why'd you pick a fight about it in the end?
Yeah. Isn't this your job just to make code for this company?
Or at the very least, why, if you realize that, why not just quit and then just do it yourself or whatever?
Yeah, if you didn't want to keep making code, you could just quit at that point. I mean, she was under contract, so I don't know how that works, but
yeah, I hated that trio.
I don't know.
I hated that trio, and then they try to do like the Suicide Squad 2016 thing of like, oh, they're all like they forced them into like being like, oh, they're a really close group now or whatever. And it's like, no, they're not. It's like
they've known each other for like a week.
All they've done is fight is pretty much this entire time, you know? Jesus. I just wanted Kurt Russell to tell them to shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, I did. I told you, that was the reason Kurt Russell let Kentaro fucking go out on his own. He was hoping for him to die in the snow.
That's why we like that nerd character, because he's like the closest we got to that in this show.
I liked how he cussed him out, like after they were just being mean to him. They were calling him a dipshit, a prick, even though he was like,
he helped them out, he gave them money and a
plane ride
to get to like,
all because he's like, yeah, you can't be here. I'm sorry. Like, you can't, this is like a fucking company that deals with giant monsters.
You're free to go, and we want to even help you, but they're like, no, fuck you. You guys
fuck you, asshole, prick. Even though we saved you from the fucking freezing to death in a giant mole monster. Fuck you, but a guy, I guess. Fuck.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
My God.
These kids were, I'm telling you, they're like so entitled and like fucking obnoxious about it.
I hope we never see these characters again, besides maybe Kurt Russell.
Well, he's in the underworld. He's in the fucking inner earth, the hollow earth shit. So they're not going to bring him back because they probably can't afford him for season 2. Yeah. Maybe in season 3 if they think they do good. I don't know. Maybe he'll be a very end cameo. I don't know.
Do you think this could lead into like the next movie, or do you think that they were just having that ending with, because spoiler here, folks, even though we've gone into like 50 already, King Kong shows up in the last seconds of this episode.
I think we already said that. I said that earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whoopsie.
But
I literally, when I was naming the monsters, I'm like, oh yeah, King Kong's in it for fucking 2 seconds at the end.
I think it's them just trying to set up the next season, and I could be wrong, and maybe I just was so done with the show at that point, you could tell it was like just about the end, that I just like turned off my like eyes. But I didn't see that like robo fist on King Kong like he supposedly has in that new movie from what we saw in the trailer.
Well, remember, this takes place before like Godzilla versus King Kong, and
so maybe it could still. Do you think it would?
This is like, if this is.
Do you think these characters could show up in that movie that's coming out in a few months, or do you think it's just setting up season 2?
I hope not.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
I really hope not.
Remember, this series I believe takes place after the first Godzilla movie, but before the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, from my knowledge.
Let's look it up. Let's see if they're gonna be in Godzilla versus Godzilla X Kong. No, it doesn't really look like it.
Yeah, I didn't think they would be, to be honest. I think this
So
is
they're
just a
setting up
TV
season
series
2.
thing. God, thank God.
Well, I
Nope.
really do not want to watch that if that becomes a thing.
Nothing of lost today.
Oh, Apple TV, you have jack shit, and why'd you give us this? Especially when Godzilla Godzilla -1 was so fucking good.
I know.
Oh, I think I have to go. I think I have to go see that like black and white one in the next few days just to wash this out of my mouth.
Just to get the a bad monster film, you gotta replace it with a good one. I got you. But dude, they could have done. They had so much potential. They could have done with this instead.
Yeah, we talked about like how it could have been like an X-Files, but like
or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but with fucking monsters in the Monarch.
I wasn't a fan of that show.
I know, but I mean, you know the concept. I should say.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying be that. I'm saying the concept, or Men in Black with fucking giant
Black,
monsters. I don't give a shit.
Should have been Men in Black, X-Files, and like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But with Godzilla and like monsters and King Kong
They had
and shit.
so much good potential. That would have been sick. Like actually just Monarch, the things they do, the things you follow. You're seeing them trap the monsters, them just like fucking finding things out about the fucking Hollow Earth.
And I
that
think
shit
that
would have been fun.
I think that character you could have.
They could have kept the flashbacks too.
They could have done that, kept the flashbacks and Kurt Russell in this, and the character of Tim, and then they could have cut that whole bullshit fucking storyline.
Yeah.
Because, like, we talked about it. It had no point in being here anyway. They were searching for Dad the whole time. And Dad they never even they fail in their journey.
I'm still not even concerned why. I'm not even sure why Kurt Russell was apparently in the wrong for trying to clog up the portal holes that, connect giant monster world to fucking human worlds that can kill humans.
He's not
even killing the monsters. He's just.
I think they were trying to, like, throw people off. Like, ooh, is he villainous? Like, what's he doing?
Yeah, but Monarch treats him like a fucking bad guy for whatever reason. They're like, he shouldn't be doing this. I'm like, what the? Why? Why not seal up as many of the holes you can, and like maybe save one or two for studies, and then super seal them off so monsters can't get out. I don't know. Granted, it's not like they can probably get all the holes. If there's some fucking holes to the Hollow Earth that are fucking connected in the ocean, probably
fucking like Lazarus Pit, fucking hole bullshit things.
They can't. There's probably
this was so stupid when they brought this element into these.
It's dumb. It's very inconsistent and it annoys me. I think Kurt Russell was trying to do the good thing. I think he had a point. He had a biggest point, probably. Yeah. And he wasn't even trying to kill like Godzilla or anything. He was like, Godzilla's gonna save us. But I'm gonna seal up these holes so other fuckers can't fucking kill us. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, what happened? Like that chick. Remember Tim's like partner? Then
the one that ends up going with
the one that saves Tim like during the explosion fucking scene.
That ends up teaming up with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, like she just disappears. She just like saved Tim and ditched. Even though like funny enough, I was kind of she was like I want to know what the fuck happened because she was like, never again will I allow another emergence type of thing happen. So she teamed up with Kurt Russell to help prevent.
They just dropped her kind of too.
I'm like, you make it like she worked for Monarch.
You saw her there. You saw her there with him for a bit, and then she just kind of just dropped out like in this second to last or last episode.
I was really like the plot too, or the idea. She was like, she's fed up with Monarch being basically sitting with the thumbs up their asses. They're not doing shit. And then she was like, just sick of it. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do something to help keep fucking humanity from getting destroyed by giant monsters.
Yeah.
Like, Monarch is probably supposed to. Fuck up. Like, the only other thing they would be there for is to study the monsters. But you know what? I'm
trying to find that character right now. Is that Duval?
Yeah, I think it's like something French, I believe. Because she had like a French accent, I think, during it.
Yeah. I thought that character was okay, but it says she was in 8 episodes, and I can only even remember her in like a few. So
she was always in like peaking. She was like small.
She started
scenes.
to be
she
more.
Barely talked.
It started to be more interesting with what they did with her towards the end, but
yeah, and then they just ditch her. They ditch her when she starts getting more interesting.
Yeah. They don't really give much for the moms here to do either.
The moms are just fucking there.
Right.
I like how they were like saying the moms like just forgave the dad for the most part. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, he's kicked out of the house, but you know what? I'm not mad." Fucking Kate was more angry than the moms.
Dude, one of the moms yelled at the fucking half brother more than the dad.
That's right.
She dropped a bowl and he tried to help her pick him up, and she's like, "No, no." He was like, "Jesus, okay, fuck, it was my dad, not me, bitch." Like, oh, that was funny.
No.
I was like, Jesus, like, not his fault,
But
I mean, I guess that would be kind of awkward, but at the same time, like, he was trying to do a nice gesture, and like, I don't know. The writing here is not good, folks.
For some reason, Kate was also really just weirdly did not like her new stepdad. It's just, I'm guessing boyfriend,
young stepdad,
possible stepdad in future,
or not stepdad,
James,
or
his name,
mom's new boyfriend or something.
Yeah, James. He seemed like a nice fella.
Seemed like a nice dude. He's just
funny
a lot
thing.
younger, and her mom seems pretty old, so it was just kind of like
he's like in his.
She must just feel weird about it, or
maybe.
Something.
I don't. Maybe
I got
he
the
is
impression
older.
he
He just
was,
looks really young for all I know.
I got the impression he was like slightly older than her, basically. And then
I think he was maybe in his 50s. I would say. James was maybe in his 50s. The mom's maybe in her 60s or something. Wait, hold on.
I thought he was kind of younger looking.
Hold on. I think the mom should be actually younger because didn't like their cheating asshole dad, like he didn't seem that old in the show. Maybe that mom was just super gray. Maybe she was just graying really early. Maybe that was it.
Was that the one he cheated on first?
I don't even know. I'm not even sure if they really specified which one he cheated. I think
we don't even know how. We don't even. Well, it's like we said, they could have been 2 other wives too, or something.
I'm not sure.
He's like, oh, good. Or there's one other one. He's like, good thing I still have my third. Like,
yeah, he just has like a backup families all over the fucking world. I think I'm gonna stay with my Thailand family for a little bit.
Jesus, Hiroshi, you're
what?
Fucked, man.
Dude, if you had fucking shitty kids like that, wouldn't you want more different ones? I'm gonna have another kid. Maybe this one would be better.
He made them Silas. He made them what they are.
I don't know. Technically, he was a workaholic. Maybe he was just never around. Maybe that was the problem.
He was out doing nothing.
Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair. Daddy.
Any positives with this, would you say?
Oh my god, well, let me think. The design for the mole creature was cool, I guess. The mole, even though it wasn't really in it.
This had a production budget that it didn't really use very well.
That's for sure.
It had that's what I'm curious of. How much was the production for this?
Yeah, that's a good thing to look up real quick, because I think they wasted it. Fucking sure. Certainly didn't. It was all on Kurt Russell. That's where all the fucking funding went to. It was all for Kurt Russell. Oh, what was it?
Legacy of Monsters. I typed in how much does Monarch cost to make.
The real life Monarch in real life. Shit, we found out there's a real Monarch. Can you imagine? Dude, if that was the case, where can I sign up? Fuck.
Because I
don't give a shit. I'll almost die. It's Monsters.
Because Godzilla -1, wasn't that like a 15 million budget? And that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was like 15 million, and that was. And
I'd say the only good CGI scene we got here was the fight with fucking Godzilla at the end. That was like maybe a little less than a minute, but was pretty pretty badass.
It's like minute, maybe. I don't even want to say 2 minutes.
No, dude, that was I don't even think a minute.
I'm not counting like the weird square off they had. They were just staring at each other for a little while.
Yeah.
Also, fucking Kurt Russell's character was a dumbass who decided to watch it, I think, because he could have gotten to the pod after he plugged it in. He's like, he plugged it in. Huh, I did it. I'm not going to get in the pod yet.
So fans are supposedly saying that CGI of Monarch is oftentimes better than the heavy budget movies. Would you say that?
They can kiss my ass. How's that? It was.
I mean, during that scene, like I said, it was good, but.
Yeah, but it's kind of easy to say that when like all the they have almost no scenes with them. To be honest,
like there was no scene like this one in Godzilla versus Kong where they're like jumping at each other and it's a big crazy fight. Besides that minute-long one at the very end of this season.
The only thing that really broke my immersion about the Kong versus Godzilla fight on the boat was the fact the boat was still standing with 2 fucking titans on there.
Don't you love when you find articles and then they just don't even give you the answer like you're looking for?
Yeah, I love it. Gotta love it. You just go down and fucking, oh, this looks promising. Fuck, no. No clear answer here.
Let's see. Monarch Legacy of Monsters budget. Because I am really curious.
Budget? Question mark? Just that be the
They're probably not
That's just the answer.
that.
What do you mean
Yeah,
budget?
I don't know if they've revealed it. But I think, honestly, this should have been a movie. It would have wasted people's time less. Yeah.
I would not have minded a series if it did.
If
it did a good job.
The fans, our time, Kurt Russell's time.
I feel like we're gonna get so much hate for even shitting on this, just based on the fucking weird scores that for some reason people are praising the shit out of it for. I don't know why.
People are entitled to their own opinions. If someone likes this, that's fine.
They got some weird taste.
You got some weird,
very unlikable character. Have unlikable characters? The fucking Monarch plots are stupid.
But everyone can like what they like, and that's that's their thing.
Wrong.
Shut the fuck up.
You're not allowed to have an opinion. The true answer is our opinion. There it is.
If you get enjoyment out of it, then don't let anyone else influence your opinion,
Just remember you're wrong. That's my opinion. How's that?
That's what Silas says. I'm a lot more.
I'll say a lot more
friendly on it, but Silas, that's what Silas has got to say. But yeah, so can't even find the budget on this. Sorry about that.
They don't
have it out there, but I'm gonna assume it's between 1 and 200 million.
I did get a chuckle how they lost 1,000 viewers after that one shitty episode that we were talking about.
Yeah,
that was a funny dip. Seeing that in what was it, IMDb?
Yeah, so the people rating this on IMDb after episode 5, which is the lowest rated of the season and was a terrible episode.
Oh, it just took it.
4 and 5 4 and 5 are terrible and are 2 of the lowest rated episodes of the season. But after those 2, it just takes a fucking dip.
It took a big dip. It lost half its viewers, basically.
Exactly. It literally lost almost close to half. Because I think
those aren't
just
good numbers, bud.
They're just fed up. They're like, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah, no. Which one? Hold on. Scroll to episode 5 real quick. Let's see which one that was again. The way out. Oh yeah, that one.
That was the one where so Kate had already encountered monsters after her first experience with Godzilla in San Francisco, which is from the 2014 movie, I believe. But she had already had that encounter, and then she has other encounters with some monsters after that, even before this. But she goes back to San Francisco, and just seeing the rubble gives her PTSD, even though, dealing with other monsters, she was confident and fine.
Yeah. Very weirdly inconsistent at times.
The writing just was not consistent.
She didn't even. Did she have PTSD even staring when she stared at Godzilla in the Algerian desert? Because it looked like she just stared at his eyes. Was like, ooh.
She was kind of whoa, yeah. It was just more of a whoa.
She's like,
not
I'm gonna fuck that lizard.
PTSD.
What? Kurt Russell looks at her. What?
So stupid.
You sense that connection, right? Yeah, I did. Oh,
yeah, that was good. Why'd they throw that in there too?
Kurt Russell look out. What the fuck?
He looked at you. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
That was hot, right?
What? Kate, what the fuck, Kate? Oh my god.
Okay, we need to find your dad. You got a lot of shit you gotta talk about.
Where's your dad? I don't want to put up with this. You know what? I think your dad was a piece of shit. He really fucked up raising you too.
But I can't really think of any other positives here, honestly. I was saying to you that to me this is probably the worst thing besides Expendables 4 to come out in the last year. or like maybe even a couple of years.
Are you gonna say it's worse than Rebel Moon?
Fuck, I forgot about that. Okay, all three of those then.
They're all shit for their own different
What do you
reasons.
think? Was this better than Rebel Moon? Rebel Moon was less time though.
Yeah, I know,
We
that's
wasted
the
less
thing.
of our fucking time.
Oh my god, I don't know. I guess the fact that it was less time makes it slightly better than waste my time as long. But I
think
don't
I
like
like
both.
this a
I
little
don't
less
like
than
him
Rebel Moon actually.
I think I don't like him for two different reasons though. These ones had like unlikable characters. Rebel Moon just fucking weirdly just paced itself weirdly and then did
just
weird
was like
stuff.
a Bethesda game, but like of just like, oh, we're just gonna keep recruiting followers. But
yeah, no barely any character development for any of them. Fuck you.
This they just focused too much on characters that sucked.
They even wasted Anthony Hopkins in that with that fucking robot with only one scene. Or like,
Well,
I'm sorry,
part
like
two,
3 scenes total.
Part 2 might save it all though, right?
Maybe. We haven't even.
Or the Snyder cut of part 1.
When does the Snyder cut for that come out? Or is it already out?
I don't. They haven't announced the Snyder cut release date yet.
No.
So I'm sure they're gonna try to milk it as much as they can to try and.
How are the reviews for that looking these days?
Shit.
Oh, that's what I thought. All right, at least we're not alone in that one. At least
same thing with Expendables 4. Yeah, but weirdly, so on those level to us, or this show is on those things level to us, but people disagreed kind of with us. It seems for the most part on this one.
I guess so. Even
to each their own, you know.
Wrong.
But you're wrong.
But you're wrong.
You know what? I just am gonna join. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck this show.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Oh, I fucking hate this show.
Oh my god.
Wasted my time.
Waste my fucking Wednesday.
And now I gotta go pay money to see Godzilla -1 again. Even though I love it,
bad
just
taste of it out of my mouth.
I gotta spend money when I'm broke just to wash this out of my mouth.
Not wrong.
But yeah, I think that's about it, right?
Hold on. Let's one little more scroll through the episodes real
look-sees.
quick. Let's look and see what we got. Okay, we talked about that. The time travel is also very inconsistent. I'll bring that up real quick too. Like Shaw was down there for a week and it turned out to be 20 years.
Yeah, that's what we thought was dumb about it. Was they kind of did a Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom thing here, where in that movie I think they just totally jumped the shark almost, where it's like we have a girl in here has part dinosaur DNA inside.
Oh yeah, we were just
but
shitting on that earlier too.
But she just looks completely normal. It's like, why though?
She can talk to dinosaurs.
What makes her special though? But can't Chris Pratt talk to dinosaurs too? Does he have?
Yeah, but she naturally
dinosaur
can, I guess. And you're like, wait, how?
What's the difference though? Like
she
what?
looks.
I don't know.
She just knows how.
Chris Pratt, he had to train them that way, but oh my god, dumb.
I don't know. That was stupid. Fuck too. Fuck.
But they did that basically where they did just the ridiculous thing of they have this inner or hollow Earth that's like an inner. It's basically inside of our Earth. There's like a gigantic skull island like. That's not even an island.
It's like a super environment type thing. That's all fucky wucky because
Earth,
of the
basically.
fucking magnetic field and bullshit. All this other weird bullshit.
And that's why there's that weird stuff
which
in there.
I always like those cool theories and stuff like that. I'm not hating on the idea of it, but they wasted it.
They wasted it because there's no cool creature designs. There's no cool environments.
But you got to meet Pumbaa.
Really.
What about Pumbaa? We got to see a fucking weirdly edgy Pumbaa with all the spikes.
All they bring us in there. Bring us in there is just the reintroduction of like a character like from the 1950s storyline that just makes no sense.
Oh god.
She's been in here for 50 days, but really like she's been in here for 55 years or like some shit like that. It's just like what?
And we tried doing the math too because we're basing it. Shaw's like been in here a week and it was 20 years for him. We're trying to fucking figure this out.
They contradict their own math because when they introduce this, they do it with the character of Kurt Russell Shaw.
For one day, it was like 2 years out there. So we're like, okay, I guess. Or we're trying to do the math, and they both came out weird. All of them came out like weirdly messed up. Yeah, not consistent math to my knowledge. 1 day, 2 years there. fucking Shaw, 1 week, 20 fucking years. Eat my dick. What?
So somehow Shaw being there for 7 days, with each day with their later logic of each day being like 1 year in the real world, Shaw was there for 7 and somehow ends up being 20 for him though. And that's the first character they introduced this time travel element with. And then they do it with other characters in the last episodes, and it makes no fucking sense because they contradict their own logic.
Kiriko was in there for 57 days, and
that's my thing is like, I feel like it almost sounds like maybe we're shitting on like just things that maybe people will be like, dude, it's sci-fi, like you're thinking too much into it, and it's like, yeah, but sci-fi things are supposed to have their own like
a little
logic,
bit consistency,
yeah. Exactly, their own logic and consistency that they follow, and not something that they introduced and then they contradict with like the next episode basically.
It was weird. It was odd.
But yeah, I honestly I can't really think of too much else to really.
I still think the time thing is a lot of bullshit. Even with it, it doesn't make sense to me one way or another.
Trust me, dude. If I really wanted to, like I said, I could rant about this for 3 hours.
I know, fucking A.
I feel like I would like if we wanted to though, we could just not even look at the clock, and I'd like eventually I'd be like, oh shit,
it's been
4 hours. Yeah, 4 or 5 hours. Damn. Because we're hot off of watching this, folks, and yeah, we were pretty pissed. Like
it was a fucking
just that
hassle
it kind of ends so half-assedly. Ends with them possibly killing Kurt Russell, which I just hate how they've been doing that more recently. Let's have an older actor in here. Let's
kill him off.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mark Hamill and fucking Carrie Fisher and fucking Harrison Ford.
Fuck. You're not wrong. I mean, like,
it's like, well, they're old, so they're probably not. Next time we film another one of these movies, they're probably that actor's gonna be dead anyway. So just kill them off. Like,
no, let's replace him with CGI like Star Wars too. Fuck you. Carrie Fisher might have died, but she's still here in soul in CGI form.
We're gonna get CGI Kurt Russell next season,
dude. I swear to
they're
fucking
just gonna
God.
they're just gonna ask they're gonna like pay Marvel $20, be like, hey, can we use that model you guys used of young Kurt Russell in Guardians 2?
Yes.
Like, all right, fine.
Oh, okay. God, like Kurt Russell, there just is alive down there. They're just gonna save him like for later things when they start running out of ideas for this shit, or they need to fucking fangasm people. Like, oh my God, it's Kurt, he's back! Ah! Oh yes, Kurt. All right.
But yeah, it's just there's a lot of shit here that honestly I think for people that have seen it, they're either gonna agree with us. For people that like it, they're not gonna agree with us. But like we said, that's fine. I think with Monsterverse, especially, like we all know these aren't Academy Award winning movies, so like maybe some just work better for people than other, so. Because this is the highest rated out of any of the Monsterverse things so far, basically, it seems like, for most people. And,
it might have been better if they just got more enjoyable characters. I just hated almost every person.
I just felt like they dragged this story out way too long, too, which made me hate the characters and be more annoyed with them, too.
Yeah, I'm not even blaming the actors, to be honest with you. I'm blaming
the actors were fine
how
here.
they wrote this script in this. It makes them so insufferably pieces of shit.
It's like Anakin,
spoiled, rotten
like Anakin
children almost.
Where you're just like, I just hate this character. They're just so annoying. They're just so insufferable.
They're gonna make me pull an Anakin if they keep this up. I killed them all. Not just the men, but the women and children too.
Hey, that'll be us if they get a second season of this.
I swear to God.
Fuck.
But maybe they'll fix it. Maybe I don't know, but based on the fucking fact that everyone's sucking the dick of this series, I feel like they're just gonna keep doing the same thing.
They're gonna indulge in the worst tendencies even more,
yeah,
or just the same sort of shit. Yeah, exactly. But we'll see.
Oh my God!
But thank you for joining us, Pose. Always a pleasure to have you, Silas. Good to have you back.
Good to be back, Leon, and
people will
please let the next one be good. Next review be good. I swear.
People will be seeing some more things from us soon.
Indeed.
We got Has Been Hotel review coming up.
Yes.
We got a Fargo season 5. The Has Been Hotel will actually be a little bit later, so I probably shouldn't have brought that up first. But
spoiled it.
we got a Beekeeper review coming out, the new Jason Statham movie. We're actually a little late on that one. And same thing with a Fargo season 5 review too. But we do want to talk about both those things. I might have Halo come back and do the Fargo one with me.
And then maybe a possibly other special guest.
Yes, a new special guest that we'll introduce to you folks for Beekeeper, possibly. But, and then I think in early February, it's going to be a little bit slow like January, but we'll have a Has Been Hotel review for you folks because that show is going to already be wrapping up on February 2nd, even though it just came out.
You'll see me in that one. I will share my opinions and... since I've been keeping up with the whole VisiPop thing for years now, since I first came out.
And I've been watching Hell of a Boss at least.
Yep,
and I'm all caught up on that.
And I've seen the old pilot 4 years. It was made 4 years ago.
But you introduced me to this show, so yeah, we can talk about it from like both perspectives. But I'm looking forward to all those reviews.
But that's for another episode.
Yes. Thank you, folks. Stay tuned, Pose.
Oh.